right, welcome back to Pine Tree State Restorations on the Pioneer SX-1080. Okay, so this is a 70s stereo system. You know, back in the day, these were like the king. And let me tell you a little history about Pioneer. Pioneer was founded in 1938 in Tokyo as a radio and speaker repair shop. In 1953, they made the first dynamic speaker named the A8 under the Pioneer brand. In 1960, they made their first headphones called the SE1. 62, they made the PSC-5A for stereo. And then in 1976, the SX-1050 was made, and then the SX-1080, 1978, 1979, which is what this is. It's an improvement over the SX-1050. 120 watts per channel. Original price was $700. Today, they're $1,200 to $3,500, depending if they're in the box, what condition, all that. I've seen them go as high as $3,500. It's a pretty rare radio, and it's built like a tank, and it's a solid radio. Now, since these were made in the 70s, obviously they're going to have issues. Number one, the first thing you want to do when you get one of these is check the cord, okay? I don't like this, and this cord's really stiff. I mean, it's like cracky stiff, so we're going to replace that. Once you replace that, you could plug the radio in and bring it up on a variac, or plug it in. When you turn the radio on, you should hear a clicking sound. These two relays, speaker overload protection, the amp relay, the ARM relay, they should click when the radio comes on. If they don't click, they're not going to come on. These are the relays, these two relays right here. These are the high voltage capacitors. There's two of them. Probably not a bad idea to change them. I'm going to on this one. And you got to clean the controls. The whole front panel's got to come off. So you pull all the knobs off, pull all these off. Once you pull all the knobs off, there's some screws on the top you take out, and this front panel will come off. Once you get the panel off, there's other screws and nuts underneath, because you have to take this circuit board and this circuit board out of the radio. You got to move it out of the radio. Got to swing it out. Take this little clamp off right here. Swing that out, because you have to get it to all these controls, and you can't get to them. They're covered up. They're shielded. You can't get to them. You have to take these off. Once you pull these out and away from the radio, you can tie them up, and then you can get out all the pots and all the switches to clean them, because they're all dirty and it's not going to work right. If one of these pots is dirty, you're going to get some kind of feedback in the radio, and it's going to cause the relay to kick out, or something's going to happen. They got to be clean. There's a lot of carbon in there, a lot of stuff in there that can cause problems. So once you get those out and you clean those, highly recommend changing these two capacitors right here. They're not cheap, but I would put new ones in. And then after that, make sure you hook up the right ohm speakers to this thing. I believe they're 40 ohm. If you put anything else in there, you might have trouble. But then, of course, you got all the lights on both sides. You want to make sure all those lights are working. Okay? Now I'll give you a little test here. Put this in here. Plug it in. The crappy cord. Okay, so if I turn this on, hear that? Hear the relays? Okay. All right, all the lights are good. You can hear those relays. Those have to work or the radio won't come on. So what we're going to do is, on the next video, we're going to have this all apart. And I'm going to show you where to clean all the switches, because all this is going to be out of here. It's a big job. Got to take this whole face off. A lot of screws, a lot of knobs, everything set aside. Then pull these out. There's screws hidden behind here, so those can come out. Wire them up. Then you got to clean every one of these switches every one of these pots. All got to be cleaned. Deoxit D5. Once we get all the switches cleaned, change those capacitors, we'll probably try to run it, and then we'll take it from there. We'll see what's going on. My buddy bought this years ago at a rummage sale for a few dollars, and like many people, had no idea this is going to be worth a fortune someday. So if you find one of these, 1050, 1080, you're probably sitting on a little bit of a gold mine. This one's in good shape. It's just dusty. The other side of it's really dusty. We're going to get that cleaned up, and we're going to check the power supply voltages on the next video. I'll show you, make sure that's working. And we're going to check the overload protection relays, make sure those are working. And we're going to clean all these pots, hook a speaker up to it, test run it, see what we got. But we're going to get it going, and I'm going to show you what to look for. Now, if you get one of these radios and it's been hit by lightning, don't bother. You can't fix it. It can't be fixed. Been hit by lightning, it's done, completely done. You could save the parts, knobs, whatever. But I had one got hit by lightning one time, and it ruined everything, and the radio is gone. I mean everything. Lightning destroys every radio I've ever seen. So be careful when you buy one. If you go to a rummage sale and you see one, at least plug it in, and see if it lights up and turns on. That's a good sign. From there, you're probably okay. But if it doesn't light up or do anything, and the fuse ain't blown, you might want to stay away from it. But thanks for watching Pine Tree State Restorations, and next week we'll have the complete teardown video and what to look for. And that cuckoo clock, I'm giving away a cuckoo clock. I'm going to extend that another month because no one apparently seen it. So check out my cuckoo clock video. I'm giving one away. And just make a comment on that, and you'll be in for the drawing. But thanks again for watching Pine Tree State Restorations on the Pioneer SX-1080, and we will see you soon.